Welcome to CTV News. I'm Grayson Ashmore.
And I'm Nathan Baker. Oxford High School students have the opportunity to take the Abstinence Plus program through the health course each year. Grayson Ashmore tells us more about the effectiveness of this program in Mississippi and in our schools.
In the year 2015, the state of Mississippi ranked number 4 in the highest teen birth rates in the United States. And even though the state has seen declines in their numbers of pregnant teens since 2009, it still continues to have one of the highest teen birth rates in the nation, according to the Mississippi State Department of Health. 54% of Mississippi high school students say they have had sexual intercourse, and 39% of Mississippi high school students did not use a condom the last time they had sex. Greg Patton, Oxford OBGYN, states, "National studies have demonstrated that abstinence-only programs are not as effective in preventing teen pregnancy than our educational programs that include sex education in conjunction with responsible use of contraception. As practitioners, we try to emphasize to all of our patients on contraception who may not be in a long-term, mutually monogamous relationship that condoms should be used as well. This does not prevent the spread of STIs 100%, but it does decrease the likelihood of transmission." Abstinence is refraining from sexual intercourse until marriage. Oxford High School teaches the Abstinence Plus education and health classes, which students have the option to opt out of the program if they like. The program teaches students that abstinence is the best option, but provides information and methods to protect themselves from pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. OHS nurse, Ms. Hayden, tells us about the number of pregnant students at our school since the admittance of the Abstinence Plus program.
There's usually several students in the district that get pregnant every year. And the rate it hasn't changed that much since we have started teaching Abstinence Plus. But I feel like it's, as far as in comparison to other, like if we were to compare it to other school districts statewide, it's a relatively low pregnancy rate.
Even though statistics have not shown excessive improvement, Hayden says that the students have had a positive response to the Abstinence Plus program over the years, believing that they are benefiting from the curriculum taught through the program.
I feel like overall it's successful, but I guess the answer to that question depends on how one would measure success. To me, I feel like if I'm dispelling untruths, that students might have about birth control or abstinence or, anything that relates to that, to the subject, and I'm teaching them something new and I'm giving them good evidence-based, information that's based on science, I feel like that's a success.
Hayden talks about what she does to help pregnant students at OHS.
A lot of students will come to me and say, I'm I think I might be pregnant, in which case I refer them to a place where they can get a pregnancy test, and I don't give pregnancy tests here in the nurse's office. And then once they have a confirmed pregnancy, I have a program for pregnant teens that we meet weekly, and it's an educational program that teaches them everything from prenatal nutrition, the importance of prenatal care, stages of pregnancy, and then stages of labor. Prepare them for labor. We talk about things as it relates to the baby and her health after, but also, how to keep up with your schoolwork. The counselors get involved in helping, students keep up with their schoolwork and make a plan for that. We all work together on helping, make a plan for childcare. There's a heavy focus on getting back to school and staying in school.
Even though teen mothers are less likely to complete high school, and only 1/3 receive a high school diploma, Hayden has seen pregnant students succeed in further education.
I have a former student who went to school here and, continued on after she had the child, graduated, and is now in nursing school. So, to me, that's a huge success.
Hayden gives final advice to students.
My advice would be to evaluate whether or not you think that this is actually the right time for you to be sexually active, because the only way to know for sure, that you won't get pregnant or contract an STD is to be abstinent, right? But if you do choose to be sexually active, it is very important to know your risks and know how to prevent them properly. So come talk to me if you need advice.
The tardy issue at OHS has grown as the school year is coming to an end. Principal Robertson has set in certain consequences to motivate students to get to classes on time. Mary Catherine Bishop tells us more.
Recently, the tardy policy has changed so that if the school accumulates too many tardies as a whole, the commons and store are closed. I sat down with Ms. Harrington to discuss the change.
I don't know if the attitude really changed. We've been taking tardies pretty seriously all year. What did change was the incentive of the store being open or closed. It has been a goal this year to help decrease the number of tardies, which is why actually break was implemented, was because the school store was only open at certain times because we wanted to focus more on kids being in class, not missing instructional time, of course. And so tardies has been a goal all year. And so that's been something important to help decrease. The only difference is offering the incentive of the school store being open if the number of tardies decreased. It seems to be somewhat effective, especially when I think that Mr. Robertson updates the student body on how many tardies we have, how many tardies they have up to a certain point of the day. The tardies will decrease because I think it makes students more aware. I don't know if overwhelmingly it will have a major impact or not. We'll just have to look at the data. I don't know that. We'll probably sit down together as an admin team and look at whether or not the change was effective. If not, then obviously it's not something we would continue.
This has been Mary Catherine Bishop with CTV News.
That's all for this episode of CTV News. From Oxford High School, I'm Grayson Ashmore.
And I'm Nathan Baker. On behalf of the staff, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. And stay tuned for an exclusive Meet Your Staff special.
Smell, because good smells, they're okay, I guess, like the smell of chocolate chip cookies when they come out of the oven. But what are all the bad smells, like a skunk, like a teenage boy who really needs to be introduced to deodorant?
Touch, because I want to taste stuff and see stuff. That's more important. And if you lose your sense of smell, you kind of also lose your taste. So I'm gonna go with touch.
If I had to lose one of my five senses, I guess it'd be smell, actually, because I gotta hear for music and see for videos and stuff like that. So I guess smell.
If I had to lose one of my senses, it'd probably be touch, because everything else you use, you have to use to live. But touch, yeah, you'll lose something, but big deal. Who cares?
I would probably lose touch because I really like to eat food, so I need the taste and smell part. And then I like to see, because they're just cool things. And then I really like to listen to music, so I definitely want to still hear instead of touch, stuff like that.
Firstly, I bring a grocery store because it has everything you need. Makeup, food, water, makeup. Gotta be looking fresh on that island, okay? And then I bring my phone because I have to Snapchat my adventures on the island. And probably some weapons, honestly, in case there's a freaky monster on the island or something. You gotta smack down on that monster, am I right?
Camera to take pictures, my phone,
there's over Wi-Fi and peanut butter because peanut butter is amazing. Like, yeah, peanut butter.
Probably first bring a microwave, battery operated, and then a pocket knife because that'll probably come in handy, and then Beyonce because I need entertainment and she can find us a way off the island, guaranteed.
First, I would bring chapstick, because that's important, and I go crazy with that chapstick. My dog Charlie, same reasons. And probably some type of communication device so I could get home, because an island is only so fun for an amount of time, so I'm gonna leave eventually.
I would love to be able to do a backflip because you could just like, just do it on command. That's like pretty cool.
Definitely sleeping with my eyes open, so then I can go to sleep in class and nobody will know.
To like be fluent in like every language, because then it would like make German class a lot easier, and like most things, traveling and stuff like that.
If I had a national one skill, probably like songwriting, because like I really like music, but songwriting's like all the way up there. That's like one of the hardest things to do. So songwriting is definitely one I really want to like have to do.